Ever felt like you're always chasing perfection, but it always seems just out of reach? It's a common sentiment, isn't it? We live in a world that often seems obsessed with the idea of perfection. From the perfect body, the perfect career, to the perfect Instagram selfie, the pursuit of perfection pervades every facet of our lives. But what is this perfection we're all striving for? Is it an attainable goal or just an illusion? This brings us to the paradox of perfection. It's a tantalizing concept, isn't it? The idea that the more we strive for perfection, the further away we push it. On the surface, striving for perfection might seem like a noble pursuit, but in reality, it's a double-edged sword that can lead to stress, anxiety, and even burnout. In fact, did you know that studies indicate that perfectionism is on the rise? In the past 30 years, there has been a significant increase in people who adhere to this self-defeating and unhealthy pursuit. Not only does it not lead to success, but it can also have severe psychological impacts. One study from the American Psychological Association revealed that perfectionistic tendencies are linked with a litany of mental health issues, including depression, anxiety, eating disorders, and even suicidal thoughts. That's a heavy price to pay for a goal that's essentially unattainable, don't you think? And let's not forget about the toll it takes on our physical health. Long hours striving for the unattainable can lead to sleep deprivation, a weakened immune system, and a host of other health issues. So if perfection is a mirage, what should we aim for instead? Well, that's a conversation for the next scene. But here's a little teaser. It's not about lowering your standards or settling for mediocrity. It's about shifting your focus from the impossible to the possible, from perfection to progress. It's about embracing the beauty of imperfection and learning to see it not as a flaw, but as an opportunity for growth. So, if perfection is a mirage, what should we aim for instead? What if we tell you that the secret to growth and success lies in embracing imperfections? Yes, you heard it right, imperfections. Those little flaws, those hiccups, those minor setbacks. You see, it's not about reaching a perfect end goal, but rather the journey of learning and growing along the way. And this journey, my friends, is seldom a smooth one. It's bumpy, it's unpredictable, it's imperfect. Take the case of Thomas Edison, for instance. He didn't invent the electric bulb in one shot. He failed. Not once, yet not twice, but over 1,000 times before he finally succeeded. Now imagine if he had given up after the first few tries, discouraged by his imperfections. We might still be living by candlelight. Or think about J.K. Rowling, the genius behind the Harry Potter series. Rejected by 12 publishers before finally being picked up. She didn't let her early failures deter her. She embraced her imperfections, learned from them, and moved forward. And the rest, as they say, is history. So, you see, our imperfections, our mistakes, are not roadblocks. They're stepping stones. They're opportunities to learn, to grow, to improve. They're essential to our journey towards success. Now, this doesn't mean that we intentionally make mistakes or aim for mediocrity. No, not at all. It's about striving for excellence while understanding that it's perfectly okay to stumble along the way. It's about learning to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and keep moving forward. In the grand scheme of things, it's not the number of times we fall that defines us, but the number of times we get back up. Our imperfections are not our weaknesses, they're our strengths. They're what make us human, what make us unique, what make us us. So let's stop striving for an unattainable ideal of perfection. Let's embrace our imperfections and see them for what they truly are, stepping stones on the path to success. Remember, a diamond is just a chunk of coal that did well under pressure. And if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more transformative facts for success and growth. And now let's shift gears from chasing perfection to pursuing progress. You see, perfection is a static state, an endpoint that is both unattainable and frankly a little dull. On the other hand, progress is dynamic. It's the journey, it's the adventure, it's the thrill of moving forward inch by inch, step by step. It's the joy of knowing that you're better today than you were yesterday, and tomorrow you'll be even better than you are today. Let's take a look at some facts. According to a study published in the Journal of Personality, people who focus on progress and growth rather than perfection are not only happier but also more successful. They are more adaptable, more resilient, and more likely to achieve their goals. Imagine you're a painter. If you focus on creating the perfect painting, you might spend years, even decades, on a single piece, constantly erasing and redoing, never quite satisfied. But if you focus on progress, on improving with each brushstroke, each new piece, you'll have a body of work to show for your efforts, a series of paintings, each one better than the last, and along the way you'll have learned, grown and developed as an artist. And it's not just about the big goals. Even the smallest improvements can add up. It's like compound interest in finance. If you improve just 1% each day over a year, that adds up to a whopping 378% improvement. So how do we shift our focus from perfection to progress? It starts with a mindset shift. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for better. Instead of focusing on the end result, focus on the process. Instead of fearing failure, embrace it as a learning opportunity. Remember, progress is about growth, about evolving, about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about embracing the journey, the highs and the lows, the victories and the setbacks. It's about celebrating each small step forward, each tiny victory. So next time you're stuck in the perfection trap, remember, progress, not perfection. Ready to let go of perfectionism? Here are some practical tips to help you on your journey. Firstly, set realistic goals. Perfectionism often stems from setting sky-high expectations that are nearly impossible to meet. So begin by setting goals that are challenging yet achievable. Remember, it's not about reaching the moon in one leap. It's about taking one small step at a time. Next, practice self-compassion. It's easy to become your own worst critic when you're a perfectionist, but remember, everyone makes mistakes, and it's through these mistakes that we learn and grow. So the next time you stumble, don't berate yourself. Instead, speak to yourself like you would to a friend, with kindness and understanding. Thirdly, don't fear failure. Failure isn't a detour. It's part of the path to success. Every time you fail, you learn something new that brings you closer to your goal. So instead of seeing failure as a setback, see it as a stepping stone on your journey to success. Also, celebrate small victories. When you're a perfectionist, it's easy to overlook the small wins and focus only on the big ones, but every victory, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. So take the time to celebrate these small victories. They are proof that you're making progress, and that's what truly matters. Lastly, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness helps you stay present and focused on the task at hand instead of worrying about the end result. It's about enjoying the journey, not just the destination. And there you have it, your guide to letting go of perfectionism. Remember, the goal is progress, not perfection. Now go out there and embrace your imperfections.